background in social and cultural studies. I used to work with from elderly people to children. I worked with all kinds of groups of people in society, and always was interested in social issues and justice. and actually I made a switch, and from the switch I rolled into the nightlife. First as a partier, I partied a lot especially in my 20s, and then got to know like the owners of the parties, and became a stage manager and a DJ, you know, getting into the scene. And but then I was like, I'm missing this social element of it. And then the Nightmare thing came into my life, and I was like, okay, this is the perfect combination. It wasn't an organization back then. Mirik was the Nightmare. It's not the current Nightmare of Amsterdam, but was before. Together with him, we started this organization, and now we're both flying all over the world to pledge for this nightlife, the value of night culture for cities in the world, actually.
I grew up in Palestine, in Ramallah, the West Bank, and I started DJing, not really, trying to DJ, when I was a kid, like 10 or 11. I have no idea what age, I don't remember, but I started like just DJing very badly, and just doing small parties in Palestine for, you know, the friends, birthday, Halloween, well, these things. And afterwards, I went to study in AUB in Beirut, and that's where I discovered clubs. It was the first time I ever see a club, and it's the first time I heard techno, and I got really into it. It just created this really different space, you know. It was the Intifada had just finished 2 years earlier, and right after it, when I went there, it's the only time I felt free. Like I was like, I can just, you know, it emptied my mind, and that felt so good. We basically don't have clubs, and parties cannot last after midnight. It used to have a reason when they started doing this law. It was just for exams or for kids studying or for disturbing, etc. And then after we started making isolated places which do not disturb and far away, they still close them at midnight. So we've been trying to find a solution, and every time we do something a bit big, the government just goes a bit crazier. So after the last boiler room session, they really don't like us now. So we're trying to implement it more into the culture, and just try to see it more of a cultural thing and more of a thing for the country. Like it gets visibility, especially when we're at war and we're very advertised in a very bad way. So it's really nice to see the different side, and that's the thing that we want to try and talk to them about it. And when I heard about the Nightmare thing, I was like,
this is what you need.
Imagine we have somebody from us in the government.
Yeah.
That's what we need, you know.
Yeah, because the whole Nightmare concept is about changing this mindset within city administration or government, and to get this nightlife scene or electronic music scene or underground scene acknowledged.
Yeah, because it
as
is
a part of the culture.
It's another completely the day is split into 12 hours.
Yeah, I always say in the night you think of possibilities. You think in possibilities and other limitations. You can open your mind literally and dance to the music or interact with whatever come across art that you've never come across before. And that's why it's so important for a community, because it does something to you as a person, and you can this energy spreads among the community then.
That's true.
Yeah.
I really feel that, and you actually see it as tangible, like much more in Berlin when you go there, you actually see it. You see what techno did there, and you see how people are, and it's like very mind-blowing. And then you're just like, oh, that's where we want to go, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see that it actually happened, so it can happen.
Yeah, it can happen, and it's really about the DIY. You just have to do it and do it yourself, and trust in each other, and trust in like this bottom up, the power that you have, because you have, as long as you grow as numbers, you really can. You can have influence, and like a nightmare, for instance, can be like the link between the ones that need representation and the people, the decision makers.
Exactly. Yeah. So now we're just like making more of a collective of the DJs and producers in Palestine.
Cool. Yeah.
And we're already like doing a lot of parties together, preparing for festivals, etc.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start going to that step hopefully soon.